friends, it's Amanda. Thanks so much for being here and watching. Joining you today for some Christmas inspiration with the Pinkfresh Studio Home for the Holidays collection. And I've got that gorgeous photo of my son with Santa and this pattern paper, Home for the Holidays. And I just thought with the Santa photo that red was just divine. And I'm also using this lovely new cut file, which is one of the Christmas cut files in the Pinkfresh Studio store, and it's one of the wreath choices. Now I've gone and trimmed that pattern paper into 1/2 inch lengths, and I've made sure that when I've done it, I've used the pattern of the stars, so it really looks like a beautiful border trim at the top and base of my layout. And I'm just going to play around with my design here because this is pretty much as far as I got when I started my layout today. I sort of had this intention and that was as far as I'd planned. So from here on, I've grabbed all the die cuts and all the pretty things and the mixed embellishments, and I've picked out some colours that tie in beautifully or reflect my photograph beautifully. So that lovely tidal pond green, and then of course the red and the white. And then I decided, after I'd put those few embellishments on, that instead of filling my cut file with paper or paper that I've coloured by hand with either our new inks or a stamping inks or our watercolour inks, I decided that I would use the Essentials, Jewels and Crystals mixes. So a very sparkly Christmas this year. But before I do that, I need to mount my photograph. There we go. Matted it with that beautiful pattern paper. It really is lovely, isn't it? Home for the Holidays. That red is just perfect Christmas. And of course for me, that photograph is real traditional Christmas. So really crisp white, that really cool deep green, and that lovely red. So a really traditional and happy Christmas page for me. And lots of sparkle, because here we go. I'm just going to give you an idea. Yeah, look at that. They're going to look stunning. All those berries and all the leaves filled with colour. So let's get to it. So on go those lovely trims. So there's stars at the top and the bottom. And it probably wouldn't matter if you cut different patterns, but I wanted mine to be, really balanced and even. So I picked those parts out. I've stuck the cut file down off camera just because it was really long and tedious to glue with a fine liner, but I got there in the end. Foam mounted the die cut, and I'm also going to foam mount these two the reindeer pieces because they're just as equally important to me as that title. Just because I feel like they're part of it. They're going to sit side by side, and the aim is that they support the title and really, make that banner something a bit special at the top of the wreath. So just foam mounting them. There we go. It was a little bit fiddly. There we are. So I'm going to put the larger one, of course, in the appearance of being closer, and set the smaller one back a bit further behind so it looks like it's in perspective. And yeah, really it's just a smaller piece, but that way it does look a little bit more. Yeah, but you can see that looks really cute. And then I'll pop in some holly as well because it's holly and it's Christmas and I need holly. They're very, very cute pieces though, and I'm folding up because they look like little wings, so I have to fold those leaves and have that soft texture and dimension that I love to feature on my layout. So speeding it up because it is a little bit slow and boring at this part. So just going to tape down my photo. I don't mount it this time because I want to tuck it under that banner ever so slightly, so I left it flat. And because it has that beautiful red paper trim, I felt like it didn't need much at all. Adding those few die cuts, foam mounting the Merry and Bright there because I think that's an important feature. And I love how when I do this, and you'll see it come on in a moment, and some of the other embellishments I add in a little while, starts to form almost the shape of a Christmas tree, with like the base of the tree being my Santa and photo. So yeah, I liked that. But as you can see, I've jumped ahead now, and I've used the beautiful now the crystals for the red berries, and for the leaves I'm using a mix of both the crystals and the jewels. So going to start filling the cut file there. And again, I cut a lot of this footage out because it did take me a little while to fill the cut file, I won't lie. I did try opting for a larger glue so that, because the fine liner was so fine, I thought maybe it was just too slow. But the larger glue was quite messy, so I got rid of that idea instantly. But in the end, look at that. Isn't that sparkly and beautiful for Christmas? So pretty. And what a lovely way to use cut files. Really, really gorgeous. So yeah, that was a little bit time consuming, but you can see it really does look amazing. And for that special photograph and that special story, and Christmas, of course you need Christmas sparkles, so it was worth the effort. Bringing out all the other things now, because of course we need to embellish, and that's my favorite part. And I think I'll start with the puffy sticker. So remember I was saying I felt like it was almost forming a sort of tree shape. You'll see when I just add this last piece in what I'm meaning. So that's of course the trunk and then the tree, and it tapers in at the top there. And that was completely, was it unintentional? I didn't intend to do it. It just sort of came that way. I don't know if it's just Christmas on my mind, but I sort of liked how that sort of had that, I don't know, that shape and form to it, even though it's a wreath design. So that was quite cute. And then looking for things in that color group, because I think it's nice to keep to your color scheme. I think it's really lovely, but I also wanted it to have meaning and work with my photograph. And I do like this one because it says joy, but I felt it was too white and it needed something, and it really needed a pop of red. And I'm not likely to use a bell. A bell's not really my kind of embellishment. So I thought, you know what, I will stick that sticker over that one and I'll foam mount them, and I think they'll look beautiful tucked in over by my photograph there. So yeah, so layering embellishments and foam mounting them, and I think that looks really effective. I love the candy canes to the other side of the photo, and just going to pop those card stickers away. And as I'm popping them away and I turn them over, I spy another candy cane. And of course you can't have too many candy canes when it comes to a Santa page, so I'm just going to pop that one in that little bit of a white gap there where we have the cut file, where it had those more leafy tendril type leaves that, oh, I suppose they're pine needles actually, silly me, they're pine needles. And obviously they couldn't be backed, so I think I just needed to add a little spot of colour through that section as well. And I liked the jingle bells, but I felt the pink was intruding a little bit, so I decided to stick with more of the dominant red and green. And I do end up using a little bit of pink later anyway, but at the time I thought it was too pink. And enamel dots, because we've used so much sparkle, I still wanted to have that idea of dots and splatter around the wreath, but I didn't, because it's so clean and crisp, I didn't actually want to use mixed media today, and I needed something that was different in texture and in design. So yeah, the enamel dots were a really nice touch, and I just used the red ones. I feel like that's enough just to add that extra pop and start building up that wreath. And I don't have a lot of room for a title, but of course you don't need a lot of room if you're using Ho 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 for Santa, and it is such a jolly page. So I've decided to, just add in a few, well, 3 of course, Ho Ho Ho's to my layout. So I'm just going to pop them in now. And again, that white on white is really, it's a little bit hard to see on camera here at the moment, but when you see the close-ups, it's such a lovely subtle touch. And I think white on white always wins me over anyway. It's so clean and fresh, and for, crisp snow and all that lovely Christmassy vibe, I loved it. It worked for me. So yeah, and it's funny because normally I do opt for those really bright and vibrant colours first, but when it comes to Christmas I do like a little bit of traditional. So there we go, ho ho ho. And then when I was pulling them off, I realised that I always had these little inner circles that I could use as extra dots. So now instead of having the white puffy dots, instead of having the white enamel dots, I've used puffy ones, but really they were just the rubbish left over from the O's. So that's quite a nice, a good way to get a little bit more out of your alphas perhaps. And a few more of the jewels now, and I'm just using the white ones. So I'm introducing a new colour there in terms of the jewels and the crystals, so it is different from the wreath, and I think that way it will still have its own impact. And I do love these ones. These are really, really pretty. And again, a little bit harder to see, but I will lift it up shortly for you to have a better look. And they're just gorgeous. They really are such a pretty embellishment. More stickers. Could we use more cardstock stickers? Of course we could use more stickers. Just to finish off, I'm just going to add a little bit of a phrase sentiment to the side here. Of course, my journaling is always on the back. It's kept very private because I feel like the photo is enough of my story being shared. So, and then a little one to balance on the side there, Christmas wishes. And yeah, look, that's pretty much my layout for today. And I've really had lots of fun making this one, actually. It was really sweet and pretty. It was a little bit time consuming, but you can see, wow, look at that Christmas sparkle. Absolutely gorgeous. Lots of close-ups coming for you. If you've got questions or comments about my process video, please don't hesitate to pop them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks so much for watching, liking, subscribing and all those things, and have a wonderful, happy, arty days. Bye.